Hi, Ghosties. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Macy. This week we're talking about another Native American legend.
Woo. Sorry, too early.
Okay. Yeah, we're recording this really early. Usually it's at night, but one thing led to another and we couldn't record this week. So this is very early, the day before.
It's a strange vibe in here right now.
Very weird. Bear with us. It was suggested by Angelica on YouTube several months ago. So thank you so much for this topic.
I love that name. You don't hear it very often.
No, but yeah, I agree.
I appreciate it.
This topic is actually pretty sad at some points. I just want to throw a warning in here that some of the backstory that we'll be discussing today is pretty upsetting. It's not the entirety of the episode, but just letting you know up front so you're a little prepared.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
Okay. Great start to our day.
Yes. We've discussed in previous episodes that water and the paranormal have some connections, and I wanted to dig a little deeper into that this week. What better way to discuss water and the paranormal than to talk about a strange haunting or maybe creature that lives in the depths of a few lakes and rivers in western U.S. Water babies are some of the most ominous and spooky legends we've come across, honestly. It's also a topic not widely and openly discussed often among natives, as we've come to learn of their darker legends aren't typically open topic of discussion. But I found what I could, and I'm really excited to share with all of you.
Yeah. I sent you a TikTok. I did, like months ago.
I opened like probably half of them.
Yeah. And it was like, it's this little thing where people like make the like AI photo, but then it's like a voice talking like this. And
Yes.
it's like,
Okay. Now
"Hi."
I remember.
Yeah.
It was like underwater or something.
Yes. I'm intrigued. So what's our tea?
We have Republic of Tea elderberry tea. So
I'm excited. Let's
never
go.
tried it.
I don't really like anything.
No, not really.
So, I don't know. It tastes kind of medicine-y. I'm not a big fan. Luckily, we just had a sample of this, so it's like we split it. It's half a cup.
Yeah.
So,
I enjoyed it. I like the flavor. I don't see the medicine though. I know elderberry is used in some homeopathic medicines, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I don't see the medicine. It just takes it tastes earthy. But I liked it. It was pretty good. Someone commented on our video a couple videos ago when we had the Lapsang Souchong and said, "I love that tea." It's like, man, I really wish I could have, but I could not. It has stuck with me, just so you know. It has stuck with me.
Yeah, no, that one was rough. I didn't drink it. Has the person received it yet?
They should have received it on Friday, but I told them to let me know
Okay,
what
I'm
they
excited.
think of it. So.
I'm very excited to see. What if they like it? I hope they like it.
I hope they do. Oh, I really hope they do. I don't want to give it away to somebody and
Not
they hate
us.
it, but
Then we can just Sisterhood of the Traveling Tea. We can just they can
Pass
send
it
it back,
along.
and we can just send it out to other people.
okay. Anyway, one of the stories told by the natives of the western U.S. tells of a creature lying in wait on riverbeds, searching for the opportunity to feast on human flesh to satiate its needs before slithering back out into the water. Slithering? I don't know. I picture it slithering. I'm not sure. I've never seen one, so. This particular legend is said to have happened many years ago and is a warning for people in the tribe, particularly new mothers, to never venture out to the water alone, and possibly to never trust your own ears because great deception is used by the predators on its prey. The story tells of a woman, a new mother, walking down to the river with her baby strapped to her back on a carrier to do some washing. When she arrived at the banks of the river, she took note that nobody was there, unstrapped her baby from her back, propped him up against a tree, and took her washing down to the water.
Side note, I feel like Ron Weasley every time I'm like, Harry. Every time I get like actually freaked out about something, I really feel like I channel him.
I love that so much. Oh, that's hilarious.
Because when I was like, slithery, why did I say that?
And they're with all the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to picture that from now on.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
She was there for maybe a few minutes when she began to hear what she thought were the cries of an infant. Thinking it may be her child, she made her way back up to the tree, but the young boy was still fast asleep. Thinking it may have just been the wind, she walked back down and began washing again. Several minutes later, she could hear the sound again. She looked up over to her child, who was still silently sleeping, and then set off in the opposite direction, hoping to find the source of the noise. She had hoped the baby's mother wasn't far and wanted to make sure that she didn't need any help. As she walked further away, the water baby made its way stealthily up the banks of the river and over to the sleeping child. It sized up its prey and then took it into its mouth, swallowing in one slow, fluid motion as a snake does to its victim.
No.
After devouring the child, it used its powers of imitation and transformation and disguised itself as a sleeping child, tucking its small body back into the wrappings that the mother had left it in. Shortly after the mother returned, having not found the source of the initial cry, but noticing her own child was now awake and screaming, she calmly approached the child with soothing words and scooped it up into her arms. She began to feed her child, but rather than only taking in milk, the disguised foe began to eat its next victim one bite at a time. The mother screamed, but did not survive long. When her family heard her screams from the river, they raced down to find her, chunks taken from her body, her baby nowhere in sight. Your face
The
is
horror. Oh my god.
awful.
That made my stomach ugh. That's disgusting.
It's awful.
That's really sad.
It's really sad. I told you, some of this is disturbing.
Mm-mm-mm.
The legend of the water baby is frightening, but it also differs depending on which group of Native Americans or body of water you're visiting, be it the Ute in Utah, the Shoshone in Idaho, or the Paiute in Nevada. Though their origins, motives, and even appearances differ throughout the region, the story of water babies in and around the great bodies of water near their reservations persists. And like we've said before, the fact that there are many accounts of such a creature by multiple tribes in many locations puts more credence into the idea of its existence at all.
Yeah, I feel like that makes it real. Because
Yeah.
if it was just one group, okay, you could maybe think oh, it was back then, maybe there was just a large snake and then,
It's like an old story, an old tale twisted. Yeah.
But multiple?
Multiple.
In different areas?
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on.
Something's up. Something's up in the western U.S. I'll tell you a few different tales of water babies for each tribe, and we'll start with the Ute. The story I just told came from a man that's part of the Ute tribe. I saw him tell it on a YouTube video. I'll try and link it below if I can remember. But he told it, and it was very it was like an older man, older gentleman telling the legend of the water baby.
Hey, I trust it.
But the creature's called water babies, or something different in their own language, which I will not even pretend to pronounce. Yeah. So look it up if you're wondering. The creatures called water babies in Utah Lake, just south of Salt Lake City, have been spoken of for centuries by the Ute people who have lived in that area. The water babies of Utah are a population of dwarf-like creatures. They are small, resemble humans in a way, and are nothing but malevolent. They act the same way a siren or mermaid would, luring people into the water to their doom. Like that story that I told.
Have we talked about mermaids yet?
No, but it's
I
on the list.
need to do that soon.
It's on the
'cause
list.
I fully believe in them. Okay.
It's coming.
Yeah, so this makes me giving the comparison, I'm like, yeah, that's real. I believe it.
Rather than a siren song, these creatures make sounds like the wail of a baby, attuning to the nurturing side of human nature and preying on that weakness. Once they've captured the attention of their unsuspecting victim, they have been known to pull people out into the water and drag them under, never to be seen again. This version of the water baby is more cryptid than ghostly. It kind of reminds me of the Grindylows on Harry Potter,
Oh, yeah.
in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I picture.
Yeah, I can see that now. I'm picturing, little gray people with, dark eyes. I don't know. That's what I'm envisioning.
All right.
Just a cohort of gray people. I don't know.
Miniature.
Yeah. But sinister. I'm not one to really get into the lore of creatures and things. I think that's more your wheelhouse. And I don't really believe in them.
Well, you believe in this, or you believe in mermaids.
I'm saying I do believe in mermaids because I don't know. Duh.
So do you believe that there could be a mermaid-esque creature in smaller bodies of water, in fresh water?
Yes, because water to me is just there's something going on.
And what kind of?
And we don't know. We don't know what's down there. It could be deep. People aren't going that deep into all of these bodies of water, so it's
it's like the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of exploration they've done to that area, but I'm getting on the Outlander train here. Sorry. Okay, I didn't want to, but I had to. It's all I can think about.
Okay.
But in the book Outlander, if you haven't read it, please do. It's so good. Anyway, in the book Outlander, she talks about how there may be portal-like places all over the world, and maybe underneath the water of the Loch Ness is a portal down there between times, and the creature is just time traveling basically. So it's like a plesiosaurus or some kind of dinosaur that is seen, its long neck, and then it goes back under and just zips between time.
So it okay, that makes sense because that's why it's only seen
Sometimes
out in random times of okay. I could get on board.
So what if there's something like that underneath some of our deeper bodies of water?
I believe that there could be anything down there. I don't like the ocean. I don't like to go. I like to go on the beach and stand there. I
Well,
don't
I
like
mean,
to
we're
go
talking about
into the
lakes.
water. Any of it. The beach, the lake
Natural
beach,
bodies of
anything.
water.
They're just, no, it freaks me out so bad. So bad.
And this just adds another layer. These
Yeah.
water babies.
Yeah, I don't like to not be able to see, like, underneath. Even in clear water, I'm still just kind of like,
Yeah.
something could come up.
Yeah. I don't like sharks.
I
don't even like to look at them. They look dead. They look dead inside.
their eyes.
Their eyes.
But
yeah.
okay, my thing is like, we're like going into their territory. So
Yeah.
I'm not blaming the shark.
No, I
it's not
just
the
won't go
shark's
there.
problem, or it's not their fault. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. They're trying to eat.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to. I don't want to go in.
You see in Florida sometimes too, people will get alligators in their swimming pools and stuff
Yeah.
too. Could you imagine
Yeah.
getting ready to go out for a swim and you see a little alligator floating around?
See, that's one thing. Those are dinosaurs, and they really scare me. They
Yeah.
really scare me.
Okay, let's move back to water.
Sorry.
babies. No. I was intrigued. I forgot
The
what
water
we were here.
just everything about the water. I'll just mind my business. I'll stay on land
Okay,
where I was.
where we belong.
I have legs. I'll
Yes.
walk.
Next, we'll jump over to Idaho near Massacre Rock, also called by some the Gate of Death. Because of the large opening of rocks, that was a perfect place for those looking to cause harm to hide in and wait for travelers along that route.
Massacre.
Massacre Rock.
Okay.
There were lots of
massacres.
yes.
I assume.
It's here where struggle and strife was plenty for the natives to the land and those immigrating westward during the expansion of the United States, and where the Shoshone people lived while this particular version of the legend of the water babies begins. Centuries ago, before the westward expansion began, there was a famine within this tribe of Shoshone people. Many in their tribe were dying and had to make countless impossible decisions for the survival of their people. There wasn't enough food growing near their home, thus the animals they hunted had moved on to more plentiful land. People were starving and barely surviving day by day. The time came when the elders came together and made the most despairing decision. They could no longer support any new mouths to feed within their tribe until they could feed the ones already living.
Oh no.
Warning.
I know where this is going.
Any mothers who had fallen pregnant were to walk down to the banks of the Snake River upon giving birth and throw their babies in. They decided that this fate for their children was better than to keep them in their homes, slowly starving to death and taking away resources that were already scarce. They would return them to the spirit world whence they came and save them from suffering a slow and agonizing death.
Oh. my
Yeah, this was awful.
God.
I cried a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Today, if you sit on the rocks near Snake River and Massacre Rock, you can hear the sounds of babies crying out in their last moments, an imprint on the land as a tragic piece of its long history, and the sounds an omen of death.
Oh my gosh.
There are some who believe that the babies did not pass upon entering the water. They instead evolved and transformed into something else altogether. They are believed to now be some kind of fish-human hybrid creature that swims through the river, splashing and playing in the waters below, hunting for fish, and occasionally crying out into the night air.
Oh wow.
Took a turn.
Yeah. Gross. I don't know.
Gross. I like
Fish
that.
hybrid things.
I like that idea better than the alternative.
Yeah.
At least that thought is like nice to think like it went out there and is living a different life.
I do like the idea that they could live another way. That
Yeah.
makes me feel better than,
I mean, it's really sad to think that they were suffering that badly, that was the only way forward that they could think of.
yeah. Because I mean, what do? You're panicking. Nobody's eating. People are probably dying of starvation. It's just like,
Yeah, they'd rather save the baby the suffering, and I mean, they believed it was going back into the spirit world.
yeah. Which I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so. But they're still there, apparently. There's another version of the story near Massacre Rock in Idaho that claims it could be the spirits of families traveling along the Oregon Trail. Settlers were often ravaged with disease and illness along this route, and they could have been attacked by natives in the area who were threatened by the loss of their land and the way of life by those traveling with their caravan of family and belongings. Not to mention the bandits and thieves waiting to stop and take advantage of the families hit the hardest by the grueling travels to unknown territory. The hauntings of the river and the cries out from disembodied voices could be that of families who lost their lives here. Other babies of families who were
Yeah.
traveling along the Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I was thinking of this right before you started that part, but like the babies in the water and stuff from the first scenario, I couldn't see them being like vengeful, you know?
Well, the first scenario was more, they were just creatures. They were a type of creature called a water baby.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, not the first story, like,
still
here.
In the Idaho.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't see them as being like, vengeful and wanting to attack. I feel like the intentions were pure and they weren't actually trying to harm the babies. They were trying to save them in their minds and everything. Yeah. So, like,
this one feels more like a residual haunting.
Yeah.
Almost. And we'll get into it a little more too, but I want to discuss this a little later.
Okay.
But lastly, we have the Paiute water babies of Pyramid Lake in present-day Nevada. The lake itself has been known to swallow men whole, never to be seen again. There are a great many fishermen who go out on the lake and never return home, leaving their boats and belongings behind. There are plenty of theories as to why these bodies are never found again. It could be that the vegetation growing at the bottom of the lake is thick and tangles up in the bodies of victims who have drowned. It's also thought that the currents and unknown water cave systems wash them into other bodies of water in the area. But the big legend here, coming from the Paiute people who house the lake on their reservation, is that the disappearances are the fault of water babies. To the Paiute Native Americans, water babies are the angry and vengeful spirits of infants who had been thrown into the lake at birth once it was found that they had some kind of deformity or sickness. As a way to keep the tribe strong and healthy, it's said that people would throw the weakest of their born as a form of natural selection almost. So if they came out different, weird, abnormal, they're just like, this one won't survive in our tribe. The spirits, like in the case of the Utah Lake creatures, will lure people out to the water with the sounds of crying infants, where they snatch their bodies and drag them down to the darkest depths of the lake. The cries and sometimes even giggles are heard mostly at night for campers and fishermen alike. They can sometimes hear these spirits slinking through the thick vegetation near the lake, stalking their prey, waiting to strike when their guard is down, and looking to rescue an innocent child. There's another story or legend that is said to be the cause of the evil spirits lurking in and around the water of Pyramid Lake. It is said that there was once a Paiute man living in the village close to Pyramid Lake who had just returned from a long day of hunting and fishing for his tribe. As he passed along the shore of the lake, he noticed a beautiful woman lying in the sand, basking in the sun. He was so enamored with her preternatural beauty that he hadn't realized for some time that instead of legs, this woman had a tail of a fish. This did not deter him, though, and instead he approached her and was overcome with love and lust for the woman, or creature.
What a freak.
Weird. He brought her back to his village, declaring that he would be marrying the beauty on that day. His family and friends were stunned and demanded that he take the creature back to where he found her. They believed he was obviously under a spell of some sort, brought on by the half-woman, half-fish, and couldn't imagine what kind of omen this could bring to their tribe and their land. The woman, or creature, became so angry, so enraged, that she shrieked out in fury, cursing the lake to which she was to return, declaring that the waters will only bring them terror and misery. She was taken back and never seen again, but not long after this day, the lake became exactly what the creature claimed it would be to the Paiute people. Only a week after the events unfolded, a baby in the tribe became possessed by an evil water spirit. It morphed into a snake-like creature, slithering and leaping towards its mother with ill intentions. It grabbed onto its mother with razor-sharp teeth, refusing to let go no matter what force was brought down upon it. The tribe's healer was summoned to the spot, and he told the demon that it must release the woman and her baby. They struck a deal of sorts, that if it were to let go, then the lake would belong to the demons from that day forward. They were in agreement, and the demon spirit released its hold on the family and tribe, escaping down to Pyramid Lake, where it and its minions still reside today. The lake is actually very pretty, and it's still a popular tourist destination and fishing spot on the reservation today. You must obtain a permit from the reservation officials to fish out on the lake and to go tour it and whatever. And if you're not respectful of the water and all living creatures that called Pyramid Lake their home, then the demonic water spirits, or water babies, are liable to snatch you and become the last terrifying sight you see before the breath leaves your body forever.
I mean, hey, as they should, if you're not out there respecting the land.
Yes, but still.
I mean, scary, but not as scary because they're like, hey, don't mess with the land.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just like, oh, you're out here, I'm gonna snatch you.
Well, some campers have, like I said before, heard giggling.
Yeah, the giggling.
Like ominous sounds in the night, like they're plotting against them almost.
I don't like the giggling. The crying is one thing because I feel like that's a normal tactic to get you. Yeah, because even like
you're used to it.
Murderers and people will come to your door and like play a crying baby sound. Like that's not as scary to me as giggling.
The giggling is really creepy. Hearing giggling in the night would terrify me, but I don't know. Using the sound of a crying baby is just horrid to me.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know. It's not as an alarming sound as like just That's what I think of giggling. I'm not with it. If I heard someone giggling outside my door, or if I heard someone crying outside my door, I'd be more afraid of the giggling.
A giggle from the banks of a river. That's why you
No.
shouldn't go camping.
I was gonna say, we'll never go camping, so that's not a problem. We won't even go that deep in the water, so that's not a problem.
No, I'm not as afraid of water babies because I just won't be there.
Exactly.
Like,
This isn't a problem for me. Yeah.
But if you are the kind of person who likes to go camping and go out on lakes and rivers and stuff,
What's wrong with you, first of all? No, I'm just kidding.
beware.
Yeah.
Be wary of the water baby.
Just respect the land, and I don't think they're gonna attack
Maybe,
you.
unless they're, I mean, if it's a demonic spirit.
True.
Of some kind.
Mm.
Could just because it wants to.
I'd like to believe that
there's
they're
a reason.
protecting their habitat.
Well, it's more evil. I mean, she'd put a curse on the lake, so.
True.
So before we discuss our theories about what we think water babies may be, I wanted to talk about the connection between water and the paranormal. Not to get too out there, but fair warning, I'm about to get a little woo-woo, so you can skip if you're not into us, but it was very fascinating to me, and I think you would find it fascinating as well. We've talked before about how at most bodies of water, there tends to be some kind of supernatural or paranormal encounter or series of encounters had by people in the area. There are many theories as to why there may be so many strange events occurring in and around water. And I'm so excited.
Okay.
Well, there are plenty of historical beliefs among many cultures that water may have some association with the spirit realm. So already, dating back centuries,
Okay.
there have been thoughts that water has some kind of connection to the paranormal.
I mean, I believe it.
It's been thought for centuries that people who have drowned may become some kind of spiritual guardian of the body of water or surrounding area. So much so that there have been times when a human sacrifice was offered to the water underneath new bridges to act as a perpetual protector of the structure and those passing over.
Human sacrifice.
Madagascar.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I laugh because I'm uncomfortable. Because what? Kind of like a troll bridge, but a ghost bridge? I don't know.
I kind of like that. But how do you choose who the person is?
I don't know. I didn't have much context in the actual cultures and their methods, but
I hope that's not true.
that's what I read.
But that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Maybe that's where the legend of trolls comes from.
Maybe
You never know. Troll bridges because I don't know.
some vengeful spirits down there you
Mhm.
sacrificed me.
Now you have to solve this riddle. No, I don't know.
Water is a strong, natural, spiritual element that is thought to hold power. It makes sense when you think of all the damage that water can cause on a community or ship out in the ocean, as well as the life it provides for every living creature on Earth. The idea that many cultures hold that water can amplify spiritual energy is a strong belief. Water impacts the emotions and behavior of people and animals alike, and the energy expelled or maybe taken in by people near water can also be something that draws in spirits. Water is believed to be a conduit for spirits, allowing them to more easily manifest in the physical world, interact with, and communicate with people and places more regularly. It amplifies spiritual energy for ghosts and even demons. It is thought that the properties of water can give spirits power to manifest themselves, and maybe that is the reason so many people claim to be able to see and interact with spirits out on or near large bodies of water. Water is merely a medium between worlds.
Two things. One, you know how it's semi-rare how people will get lost at sea,
Yeah.
just on their own,
I
in a
don't know
boat
how
or something.
rare it is, but
I don't know. Imagine seeing a ghost or a spirit or a person when you're just floating out in the middle of the ocean by yourself.
seeing a person out there
What
rising
do
from the
you
water or
do?
something.
Oh, that adds just another layer, because I have an intense fear obviously of water, but being lost at sea, I don't think I would have the will to fight on. I think I would just lay down and go to sleep.
Slink into the water.
No,
Well-
if I was floating on something, I would just go to sleep and wait for the elements to take me.
In what episode was it? Our Guardian Angels episode. There was that guy who was kind of got sick and lost his way when he was navigating through the waters. I don't remember. He was doing some big thing. I don't remember exactly, but he had a spirit take control of his boat and guide him
yeah,
in the direction he is supposed to go.
I don't know, but also, okay, my second thought was, you said this is woo-woo or whatever, but I'm into this. I believe
I
this
knew you would. I knew you would.
because this is gonna get real weird.
That's
maybe.
okay. We're here. We're
I
here for it. We're
believe-
all weird here.
I believe, because we're like 70% water or whatever.
Yes.
I believe that the moon affects our
Okay.
moods and things.
That got a little far from me.
Because, listen, the moon controls the tides, yes?
Maybe.
So
I
is
saw
the moon
Neil deGrasse.
not
I saw Neil
affecting
deGrasse
us?
Tyson say that our tides are actually because there's some, I don't know, like pools on two opposite sides of the world, and they like kind of come up over those pools, and that's how the tide's made. He explained it better than me, but I don't know. The
I don't
moon's
know.
probably maybe still a part of that.
But anyway, if the moon controls the tides, I think the moon controls us.
I think that's the thought of a lot of people
I think I
who believe
that.
in the moon stuff. I'm not big into moon and space controlling us as much as I am elements here.
Not space, just the moon.
Okay.
just the moon. I don't know.
Well, are you an astrology person?
Kind of.
See, yeah, I'm
Kind
not.
of.
I'm not big into that.
I'm not deep into it, but like, I believe.
I think it's a fun thing to read in your little magazines, like, ooh, what's it gonna say? But like
Okay.
beyond that, I don't think it has much effect on us. But I don't know. Prove me wrong.
I mean, there's some people that like, I saw actually a TikTok yesterday of Carrie Underwood and Emily Osment. They're both like Pisces or something, born on the same day, and they look exactly the same. And they were like,
Okay.
do all like star signs, like, do they all like look similar, have similar features? Which, I mean, you and Ryan look nothing
No.
like. But I don't know. I'm into that type of stuff.
Okay.
I believe it when it suits my ideas.
Yeah, I was about to say if it follows what you think already,
Yes.
then yes.
Yes. But no, I really do believe that the moon is like,
Maybe you can do some
I don't know.
weird episode on the moon or moon things.
I don't know.
You can put that together. Have a special Natalie episode.
I feel like I would fall deep into something that I
We'd
could
never
not
see you again.
know. You couldn't drag me out. So yeah, I believe to bring it back, the water and the paranormal.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well,
here for
there's
it.
more. There's more sciencey things to it. So there are physical properties of water that we can measure that give some credence to the idea of water being a conduit or medium for spirits. The ions in water can generate an electric current, even more so when salt and other substances are added to the water. So why can't this electrical energy also be conducive for spirits? And bodies of water often have higher concentrations of electromagnetic fields. We use EMF detectors during ghost investigations to indicate the presence of ghosts or their attempts at communications. Something to think about. So that really interests me. It like
Mhm.
intrigued me because the electrical currents and like EMF readers and stuff. I don't know. Like I really thought there
Yeah.
was something there.
I'm into this. No, I concur.
Finally, the theory that water has memory.
Oh yeah.
This doesn't necessarily have anything to do with active hauntings, but more so with residual and energy in hauntings.
See, and before you even start, I have realized that I am a strange person, and I believe in like the energies of things, and I believe that everything like, yeah, I'm into this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know
do,
how to
yeah,
say what
no.
I'm saying.
I got
but
you.
I'm like, yeah. I've always been like
You have.
a hippie
Like
type person.
when I started reading this, I was like, Natalie's gonna get into this. Natalie's gonna eat this up.
I believe in Mother Earth.
Sure. Okay, moving on.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean.
I'm picking up what you're putting down here. Since the 80s, there have been scientific experiments that present the question as to whether or not water has a memory of sorts. It will retain properties of objects, materials, or compounds that it comes into contact with long after that object is no longer present. Kind of like bringing it back to Harry Potter here, the Sword of Gryffindor.
Okay.
Anyway, like in the case of the French allergist developing allergy testing, he found that when the solution he was testing containing the allergen had been diluted so much with water, so much so that it was essentially water at this point, the reaction of the blood cells still had the similar reaction as if it had come into contact with the allergen itself. It was as if the water remembers or retains something of the substances that it has once been in contact with. I think they're called basophils or basophils. It's a part of your blood cells that reacts to allergens when you have like an allergic reaction to something. And he had an allergen in a water solution, but something had happened where there was so much water put into it that basically the allergen within was basically gone. Like it was just basically a big thing of water, and the basophils still had that same reaction as if the allergen were present.
Yeah, okay.
And they redid this test over and over and over again because he thought maybe it was just some fluke thing or some accident or mismeasurement or something. And no, it happened. And it's been measured and done over again.
That's interesting. But for me, I still, like, I just feel like that's kind of like, well, it's present. It's there. I don't know.
There are also the studies on water done in the 1990s in which Dr. Emoto observed the effects that different sounds and emotions presented to water caused differing reactions to the crystalline structure of that water. He photographed the water under a microscope after being yelled at angrily and like poured in like negative emotions to it.
I love you, dog!
Yeah, kind of. And this water, the crystals had a harsh and jagged like edges after anger and negative was poured into it. Okay.
I'm so glad you understood what I just
said. Yeah. I know
sorry.
Exactly what you mean.
I had to say it. I ruined your explanation.
I
but
feel like you enhanced it.
I'm very into this. Okay.
When the doctor spoke to water lovingly, read poetry, sang songs, played music, prayed with it, that kind of stuff, it instead formed beautiful crystals described as more tranquil-like in appearance.
I need to see photos.
There are photos. I'll put them. Yes. There's like a whole... I'll show you later. So it could be that considering most objects on Earth contain some amount of water, like you said, including us, that a residual haunting is like the water remembering what it has witnessed. When energy has been poured into the water, so to speak, then it imprints on the molecular structure of that water. So if something traumatic were to occur near the body of water, or even something that just occurred over and over again, it would make sense that the water was able to retain that event to be displayed over and over again later.
Wow.
So a mix with the electrical, like the conducive elements of it and like being able to manifest spirit and it retaining the memory of what has occurred within it. Residual haunting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like...
This is
I feel like I'm basking in the sun of the paranormal.
This is up my alley for sure.
As the water evaporates, the residual haunt becomes less so. And when the water within a material is stirred up once again, like in the case of renovations in a home, the memory imprinted on that water then manifests itself once more. One more thing that I found that just makes sense to me is the connection between humidity and hauntings. I just want to throw that in there. The same theory stands. More water equals more haunted. So when a place is incredibly humid, then all of the water in the air fosters an environment rife with ghosts and residual hauntings.
Oh, no.
And maybe could explain why places like Galveston are just so haunted, because it's just surrounded by water. It's super humid there, super hot and humid.
Hot.
Yeah. And just crawling with ghosts.
That's
I saw that. I was like, ah!
That's intriguing. I have a lot of thoughts right now, but I don't know how to say my thoughts.
How to formulate them into words.
I feel like I just want to go stand on a beach and be like, and just feel.
It's like, I knew it.
I just want to feel. Yeah. Wow.
None of this has been proven, obviously, so take it with a grain of salt. But I thought it was interesting. Figured I'd share it with you. It gets me going. I'm like really excited about this.
I am too.
I am energized with this information.
Yeah, me too. I literally, like, I'm going to be washing my hands later and I'm going to be like, what do you know? What have you seen?
I'll probably never look at water the same. But finally, in the case of the various forms and versions of the Native American water babies, we can discuss our theories and thoughts on what these strange occurrences can possibly be. Are they just another story told for people to stay away from dangerous waters?
At first, I thought, okay, yeah, it's like a little creature thing, but I'm not super into the creature-y things.
Cryptids.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you know. But now that I have the information that you just gave me about the water, I'm like, it's just, yeah, it's haunted. It's the energy. They're there. They're manifested through the trauma in the water. So yeah, I'm on board.
Here's another thing that I forgot to mention before. People have claimed to see marks on banks of rivers and lakes as if like creatures were sliding in and out of the water, and have seen small like baby type handprints on the
raccoons.
Okay, maybe. I didn't think of raccoons before, but yeah.
Well, because I mean that's
what
I think
raccoons
of.
Out in like desert water areas like Nevada.
I have no. Raccoons live everywhere. They just eat trash. They just
they're just little trash
run
pandas.
Around. I don't know. That like on the banks and stuff. That could be any type of animal thing.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. I forgot about it until just now. So
I'm on board with the energy.
So, do you think that they are the spirits of lost children? Maybe some of them?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think they're vengeful and evil? Or do you just like the idea that they're there to protect the water? Almost like the same thing that they had made human sacrifices under bridges to be like guardians?
Yeah. Because I don't see, which, I mean, I could this is my theory that I want to be true.
Okay.
I want them to be just protectors and not actually just out to harm. But at the same time, that kind of slays. Like, I kind of like that they're just like,
After
trying to get people.
Well, we talked about the water, and after I looked into it a little more, maybe just residual hauntings, like the sound. I mean, I can't explain the like dragged underwater bit, but the cries of the babies, maybe just the water remembers such a like immense emotional tragic thing that it just kind of manifests itself out there.
I could see that, but I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know.
But worse, even worse so, what if it's just demons, like water demons of some kind that are preying upon our nature of protecting and nurturing infants and small children?
Well, everything we talk about, we always say
Demons.
it could be.
I feel like I'm like the aliens guy, but I'm like,
you talk about
it's a
him
demon.
every episode.
Because I relate to him because he's all about aliens and I'm all about like, it's a ghost.
Okay.
It's a demon.
Okay. And yes, I could see that.
That's your final thoughts?
Yes. I don't know. Like, I want there to be little creatures. I don't know why, but I want them to be real.
I like the idea of a little like sentient creature out there, like causing mischief.
Yeah, me too.
But
Kinda cool.
I also, I think I'm more in the camp of just spirits.
I think so. I think I am too. It's hard to get me on board with like a physical creature.
Yeah.
It really is. But
Not me.
but I believe that Bigfoot is
Well,
real,
I was about to say,
so-
you believe in Bigfoot. Should we do an episode on Bigfoot?
No.
I kind of want to now.
If you want to, let us know. I don't really care to.
Let us know if you're into Bigfoot. I'll put something together for Bigfoot if you're into it. Because I
It'll
am.
be a short episode.
No, I saw someone do a 3-parter on Bigfoot. So, no.
Okay, well,
There's a lot there.
I'm on the fence. Okay.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with us today. Taking the time out of your day to listen, and this has been a lot.
Whatever we just talked about.
Whatever we just said. We'd love to hear what you think. So if you're on YouTube, please leave us a comment. Also for the algorithm, that would be great. Thanks. And like, subscribe, do all the things. If you're on podcast, leave us a review, a 5-star review if you can, please. And follow us on Instagram at Ghosteas Pod. We'll post pictures of the water stuff on there if you're interested in that as well. If you have a creepy or supernatural encounter that you'd like to share with us, be that cryptids, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, anything you'd like, go ahead and send it to us via email at ghostiespod@gmail.com. And we'd love to share it in a future listener stories episode.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to say?
That's all, folks.
All right. Oh, if you're interested to listen to us ramble on even more about literally nothing, we have the loose leaves, so it'll be linked down in the description if you're interested in that.
And even if you're not gonna listen, go look at the art that is the thumbnails.
They are Natalie's just dream vision come to life.
Yes. So
They are
go look
something.
at it. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.